Wish you all the best.
FX Polytechnic College, Tharuvai, Tirunelveli, 8 km from New Bus Stand.
Good evening. On behalf of our management, Principal D.P. Rufus sir and EC Department of FX Polytechnic College, welcome you all for this webinar program. Today, webinar program is going to present by our alumnus, Mr. Muthuraman, founder and CEO of Kasarara Technology and Automations. He completed his diploma in the year 2019 in our FX Polytechnic College. He was the best student in academic as well as extracurricular activities. He was a young entrepreneur. He started 2 companies in the year 2018 at Tirunelveli. One is Kasarara Technology and Automations. Another one is Reality Studio. He is the founder and CEO of these 2 companies. He is having deep knowledge in electrical and electronics field. I am very happy to welcome our alumnus Mr. Muthuraman as an resource person for this webinar. Once again, I welcome you all for this webinar program. I hope this session will be useful to you all. Now I hand over this session to our resource person Mr. Muthuraman. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind introduction. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. D.P. Rupus, Principal of FX Polytechnic College, who is very enthusiastic principal with the urge of doing something creative every day in making global leaders by vision. And I would like to thank the beloved management of FX Polytechnic College and to EC department members, also everyone who are working beyond these webinars. Even in lockdown, I really thank you and appreciate you. Hey everyone, this is Muthuraman. As Mr. Madhavan said, I am the founder and CEO of Kasarara Tech and Automation. Kasarara is a tech, research and manufacturing based startup company. We are really interested in doing electronic manufacturing in India, and we are currently doing website and application development, which is most needed in this 2020. And also we are in research of automation and IoT, and we are very urged to create a new innovative and useful product for the people. So these are little bit information of my company. Okay, let's get into the topic. The topic is Raspberry Pi, a friendly approach. In this session, we are going to see a few things that you all need to know while you starting up with your Raspberry Pi for your projects. Here is the summary of it. We are going to see some of the points and some of the topics. What is Raspberry Pi? So some people might know or some other can't. So I would like to tell you what is Raspberry Pi and their types. The next one, what are the main uses of the Raspberry Pi, and how to install a OS on Raspberry Pi on yourself. Then start coding and get into Pi. Where to code and which language is used to code for your Pi. Then basic blink LED code in Raspberry Pi. In this short time, we are just going to see a simple coding because we don't have much time to talk about it. There are a lot of other projects in coding it. We all see it once we have time after lockdown, or we have another sessions for it. So here we go. first we are going to see what is Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is a low cost credit card sized computer. Raspberry Pi is actually a low cost motherboard. In order to say it a motherboard, we can say it a computer, because we see in motherboard there is nothing. When we purchase, the motherboard doesn't have any RAM or processor or some other things which actually a motherboard have. So in Raspberry Pi we have inbuilt RAM and inbuilt processor on it, so we all say it a computer. In order to say it as a motherboard, we say Raspberry Pi as a computer. This computer, this Raspberry Pi, which allows you to connect it to a monitor or display or TV for a display through a HDMI cable for the display purpose. We just thought of the Raspberry Pi with some easy steps. Just power up the cable on the Raspberry Pi and plug the HDMI cable for the display, and just connect keyboard and monitor for your input devices. Then we go. These are the small steps. This like a plug and play module only. Raspberry Pi is like a plug and play module. You can easily start up or assemble the computer for the Raspberry Pi and start your projects. Uses of Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is mainly used for project and experimental purposes. Sometimes in real time also. The major field of Raspberry Pi uses in is IoT and automation field. In IoT and automation field, Raspberry Pi is much needed, because in some cases we need lot of data to store in a real time computer from a hardware of that IoT and automation project. In that case, sometimes we don't have much space or much space or much cost for offered real time computer on a project. In that case, Raspberry Pi is very much useful. It's because of the cost efficiency and the work efficiency also. Raspberry Pi is much needed for it in automation. Sometimes also it used in robotics for, because that also an automation. So in robotics also Raspberry Pi is used. Why the Raspberry Pi is used in automation and that field? Because it allows you to take input output ports which you can connect an external hardware like Arduino and sensors in Raspberry Pi. In a real time computer you can't able to add a sensor or something. You can't customize a real time computer, but in Raspberry Pi we can able to customize it with sensors and some other things for a project or other product development also. So that Raspberry Pi is used. Now you can understand what is Raspberry Pi is. Raspberry Pi is a real-time, smaller and cost-effective computer which allows you to connect an external sensors and some other controllers to it with a I/O port on it, and you can do projects and product development on it. So that Raspberry Pi is used for. Raspberry Pi launches various types of Raspberry Pi from the year of 2008. We have B Revive 1 and B Revive 2. In B Revive 2 it has only 256 MB of RAM. In that time it's a larger RAM, I think. And also we have B Revive 2.1 which is made in UK, and B Revive 2 which is a Chinese, and B Revive 2 Blue Pi also. These models have only one HDMI port and one Ethernet cable and just two USB cable which allows you to connect USB devices on it. And also they launches a compute module of Raspberry Pi. Is like a RAM we can use the compute module in our system for projects and projects. There is no other IO ports on it. Then B plus launches, and B plus also it has RAM, and it has one HDMI port. Then they updated the Raspberry Pi with 4 USB slots and one Ethernet cable. In from B plus they give 40 IO ports. IO ports means input or output port. In that port only we can able to connect sensor or other communicative motherboards or other communicative ICs on it. So then they launch A plus. A plus is a minier version of it. It's like it also have a 40 IO port, but it a minimal version. It also have a touchscreen port and a display port. Then it also have a audio port, one HDMI port, and two USB port only. And then they launch 2B and 2B 1.1. They all have the same kind of things. In 2 and 2B they give 1 gigabyte of RAM, which allows creator to do more with that. On that time only, in 2B only, Raspberry Pi can reach more person in the world to allow them to do more projects. Also they launch 3B. And talking about Zero, the Zero Raspberry Pi is it's a lot more minier version of the Raspberry Pi. It's just like a what to say, it's just like a KitKat. It's just like a KitKat chocolate. In that size only the Raspberry Pi, but not in the width, just in the height and the breadth. Zero is a minimal version which allows you can take the Zero on your wallet to any place and then program it. In this all Raspberry Pis, where we can able to put a OS on it, we can able to connect a hard disk to Raspberry Pi using the USB cable, or there is a dedicated SD card slot. There is a dedicated micro SD card slot. You can use the micro SD card to put your OS on the Raspberry Pi. We can able to put a OS. We can able to put a OS only the Raspberry Pi officially launches Linux and Raspbian, Debian, and Ubuntu. These are the OS you can launch. You can launch or you can put on your Raspberry Pi. We can't able to put the Windows OS on it. I am clearly telling you, we can even able to add Android on Raspberry Pi, but we can't able to install any Windows OS on it because it's a lot more version. So we can't able to put Windows OS. We can only able to do a OS which Raspberry Pi gives, like Raspbian, Debian on that times. So you can find that OSs on their Raspberry Pi official website. It's also that all open sources. You can't you don't have to pay for it. The OSs is open source, so you can able to download it and easily put on your Raspberry Pi. After 2 and 2B 0 Pis, they launch 3B, 3A plus 3B plus Raspberry Pis, and now they launch Raspberry Pi 4. Then now in Raspberry Pi 4 they give 4 GB of RAM, which allows you to do more effective works and more effective projects with it. Also there is no change in IO ports. There is no different port from Raspberry Pi 2. They give only 40 IO ports on Raspberry Pis. Raspberry Pi is a Raspberry Pi 4 is a most wanted Raspberry Pi in the market because it have three variants: 1 GB, 2 GB, and 4 GB. Raspberry Pi 4 is more and more need in market, and there is a demand for it also. I can also able to afford it, but it took long time when I order. Raspberry Pi 4 is a very good Raspberry Pi product because of the 4 GB RAM configuration. Now now we see Raspberry Pi 4 because I have Raspberry Pi 4 now and installed OS on it, so I can able to tell you what is the Raspberry Pi 4 have. Raspberry Pi 4 have 1 gigabit of Ethernet. In Raspberry Pi 4 you can able to Raspberry Pi 4 you can able to connect 1 gigabyte of internet connection to it. So it's easy to do IoT projects on Raspberry Pi 4 because it's more efficiency in gigabit Ethernet port, and they give two USB 3.0 port. USB 3.0 port is a faster USB port which allows data transmission in a 3x speedway, that is the 3.0 USB 3.0, and there is two USB ports on 2.0. They give 2.0 USB port 2 and USB 3.0 port 2. Then 4-pole stereo audio pin there, so you can able to connect audio system on it, and 2-lane MIPI SI, and they also have camera port. Talking about the camera port, it's not like USB type, it's like a strip type, so you can only connect camera which is a hardware type, but they have two camera port. In that camera port there is no USB port. The port is like a bus type. You can able to connect internal camera type, bus type camera port only there. Also display port also there for you. If you can build a laptop with the Raspberry Pi, you can able to do it with this laptop and with this display and camera port. It's a bus like camera port. You can able to connect the display bus on it. So then you go. In Raspberry Pi 4 you have USB-C for power. It allows you to connect 5 volt and 3 ampere of 5 volt and 3 ampere of Raspberry Pi on it. And then you have two HDMI ports in Raspberry Pi 4. The beauty of it is 4K 60 fps, two HDMI ports you have, so you can connect two 4K monitors on it. If you do a image processing project with it, you can able to connect 4K monitors on it, so that you can able to identify the image even much better, which is most important for the which is more important for the image processing things. And then you have inbuilt wireless wireless of 5 gigahertz. Wireless means it have inbuilt Wi-Fi, and it have Bluetooth 5.0. Bluetooth 5.0 is much efficient and faster. Bluetooth allows you to transfer data through Bluetooth even more faster. And as I said, you have 40 pins of general purpose input output ports, that like they have input output headers. Headers means it male header pin, and you can able to connect a female header pin, or you can solder it for your sensor or other motherboard and other processors or other controllers. You can use it. They have 40 pin of GPIO. GPIO means general purpose input output headers. Okay, then you have 4 GB of RAM. So don't worry, you have 4 GB of RAM in Raspberry Pi. You can able to do lot more things on Raspberry Pi 4. That's it. In Raspberry Pi 4 we have these slots and these and in so that's it. In Raspberry Pi 4 they have that's it. In Raspberry Pi 4 you have these that's it. In Raspberry Pi 4 you have these slots on Raspberry Pi 4 for your information. Okay, then how to install a OS on Raspberry Pi? For installing OS on Raspberry Pi, you have dedicated micro SD card slot. You can able to use a micro SD card. You can able to use a micro SD card for installing OS. Okay, how to install a OS? Go to Raspberry Pi website. They give the currently updated OS for the Raspberry Pi and download it. You have to install it on your micro SD card using the Power ISO software. Firstly, before installing the OS, you need to format your SD card. So you need to format your SD card. Then after formatting the SD card, put it on your computer with Windows computer. Then with the Power ISO software, you can select the ISO file which you download from the Raspberry Pi website. After selecting it, you can start up the Power ISO software to make the bootable USB device for ISO file to a bootable micro SD card, which is need for installing the OS on the SD card. And then after installing the OS on the SD card on your system, take it to the micro SD card slot on the Raspberry Pi. Put it on the Raspberry Pi micro SD card slot, the micro SD card. Then power up the Raspberry Pi with the USB-C power. I am talking now the Raspberry Pi 4 only. In other Raspberry Pis there is also these kind of things also. This is also used for other Raspberry Pis also. There are the common setup only have. So this is the Raspberry Pi 4. As I said, you can see these are the Ethernet port and four USB slot. This is the RAM slot. You can see it. This is the RAM which is inbuilt on it, and this is the 40 IO male headers on it. Then these are the two micro HDMI port, and this is the C type port and audio port, display and camera port. So these are the this is the Raspberry Pi 4 GB configuration I have. So now we see how the OS in the Raspberry Pi acts and how it works. And now see how the Raspberry Pi Raspbian OS can act, and how the software on the Raspberry Pi like. So here we go. I am going to power on. In display there is nothing on the display, so I show you. Once I turn on the power, there is a light blinking on. So here you see this colorful display. This is how the Raspberry Pi is starting up. Firstly, then this is the flash screen. This is how the Raspberry Pi starting up or booting up. Yes, this is the Raspberry Pi screen. This is the Raspberry Pi OS screen. I am show you with connecting a keyboard and monitor here. I am going to connect wireless keyboard here. I am going to connect wireless keyboard and then show you how it works. We have the wireless keyboard and a mouse, wireless mouse. So as you see, I can able to use a mouse and keyboard here. Now I am going to connect the Raspberry Pi via VNC server, and this is VNC viewer you can see, which is allows you to connect to the Raspberry Pi with your Windows system or your mobile. For better recording purposes, I am using this VNC viewer, so that only I can able to show you the display of the Raspberry Pi clearly. So just we connect. This is my Raspberry Pi 4's VNC server. So here we go, it's connecting to my Raspberry Pi now. Connecting with the Raspberry Pi using VNC server, it needs an ID of VNC server, so you can connect it with internet, and then you create ID on VNC server, so that you can connect it. Here I already used so many times, so that it don't ask me the password. If you use firstly, you need to enter a new password, and then after connecting, and then after it asks you the password, so that only you can connect to your Raspberry Pi using the VNC server. So just here also it asks me the password for the VNC, so I enter my password. Once you enter the password, you can see this is the display of my Raspberry Pi. So we enlarge it. Yeah, this is automatic quality in image view. So in picture quality we can change it to high and just click OK. Then you have the higher resolution of the Raspberry Pi. So for recording purposes, I use the VNC server. Here you see this is the VNC connect which I used for to make this recording. The start menu of the Raspberry Pi, which they give the Raspberry Pi logo on it. This is the start menu. Here you see there is programming, education, office, internet, sound, graphics. This is the Raspberry Pi 4 OS, Raspbian. So there are a lot more things to do. You have file manager also, and you have command prompt. Mostly we are using the command prompt to open a software or something. I will let you know in other time. This is the Raspberry Pi file manager. You see this is the Raspberry Pi file manager, and you have Bluetooth. So here's the Bluetooth settings. It's just act like a system only, so you don't panic. It's like a new thing or something new you have seen. So it's not like that. It's just like your computer, how you use your computer. This is also just like I am connecting my Jio for the internet connection. This is the Wi-Fi connection, and you have sound settings also. Then you have pan in right clicking the taskbar. It gives this dialog box. In this dialog box, here you see the panel settings, create new panel and add or remove panel items. You can customize your panel, you can customize your taskbar here by right clicking in on the taskbar. So here we go with panel settings. In panel settings you can able to change the appearance, change the background and do such things. You can use a digital clock and spacer controls also we can use. So these are the panel preference settings. So you can change your taskbar to the top, to the right, to the left. So you can able to do it. For your kind information, panel settings allows you to use these such things. So I show you some other softwares. We have Scratch software here. Scratch software, we all know Scratch software is coding software with blocks coding. So now we do an animation. Now we do a simple animation by clicking this move 10 steps. So as I run by clicking the block, I can able to run, or here with the flag button you can able to run this program. So I run this program, I give this animated character to move 10 steps. If I click the go button, so first you have to add when flag clicked, then move 10 steps. If you see the when I click the flag button without giving this when flag clicked, you don't see any movement here. So after adding the control with when after giving the control with when flag is clicked, only it moves. Here you see it only moves a 10 step, which means 10 pixel. I think it moves 10 pixel. Okay, if I give a forever, so it's like a coding in forever. When clicked forever, it also moves 10 steps. So I can able to so now you see when I clicked when here I put, this is the coding space in the script. When flag is clicked, forever move 10 steps. Forever means it's run like a code. Forever means a loop. Forever is a loop statement here. So if I click this flag, it will run. Here you see, this is the bottom line of this character or monitor space. So hereafter the character don't run, so we can stop the code. You have lot other things to do with the Scratch. This Raspberry Pi Scratch software is used, which is useful to children to learn the language or learn how the coding is, the coding language, how the coding script actually work like. So it is very much useful for kids and school students. So now we are going to see how to start code in Raspberry Pi. Now we are going to see how to run a Python code here, and using command prompt how to do such things. So this is the terminal, which is a command prompt actually for Raspberry Pi. So this is here. So here pi is my username of this Raspberry Pi, and after this dollar symbol only you can able to make code here. So now we going to list where which directory in this Pi is. So here are some directories of our files on Raspberry Pi. So we are going to list. So this is our directory home or pi. So in pi we are going to create a file using create a folder using this command prompt. So let's see how to do. The file is called a directory, so we are creating a file, so we are going to make a directory. So for make a directory in Python, it's easy. mkdir is called make directory, and we say it file. So after entering it, you see nothing is happened. So when we go to this home pi, you see a file is created here. Okay, this is a new folder which created by the command we see. So once I delete this, it will delete, and then we can repeat the command. So for repeat the command, you can just click the up arrow on your keyboard, so that the command that you enter before is re-entered. So now we enter. Okay, here you see we are make the directory again. So now going to that. So here you see the deleted file was recreated because of the command. So here the file is created. So now we are going to create a new Python file to run hello world command in Raspberry Pi. So for creating a new file, so here nano file slash hello.py. okay, now here is the file slash hello.py. From the directory you can see it. This file is saved in here. So now we are print hello. Okay, by clicking up X, by clicking up escape or just cutting up. So here you see the hello file hello.py was saved here in the directory which we make using the command prompt. So now we are going to run the command on the directory. So for run the command, we just rm is used to run the command. So then rm file is my directory, and then I run hello.py. So here you see the hello pi was saved here. So then we open the file by using the command prompt and run the code on the file. So to do that, you just need to type python and home. You just type the directory of the file, home pi slash file slash hello.py. So here is my directory. It says I can't open that directory. So here is some error, I think. now you see our file was saved here. This is the Python file. So for opening purpose I have to rearrange this. I have to rename the save part from here. Okay, now the file was saved as hello.py. So we are going to open it using command prompt. So by using command prompt this file, we are going to do python file slash hello dot py. So here we go. The Python file is run, and the Python file is run. The output was shown here. So what we put there, hello, is shown here. So for your knowledge, I would like to redo this. So now we redo this. So to create nano, to create a Python file, type nano and choose the directory. You have to save the file and say now this time we say hi dot py. Okay, so we are creating hi dot py this time. So we are going to print thank you this time. So we are printed thank you. This is the Python code language. This is the Python code. So then we are closing this file. By closing this, is automatically saved here. You can see this, it automatically saved hi.py.save. So we just rename it to hi.py only. So we need to rename with py only, so that only we can easily open in command prompt. So now we are going to open and run the command in the command prompt. In command prompt we are going to type what we gonna type is python file slash hi.py. So here, it's hi.py. so here the output that from the hi.py, it says thank you. So here is the small Python code we can able to run just using the command prompt, which is terminate here, which is the name terminate here. So by using the command prompt we can develop our coding skills by using it. So I'm here to show you some other things how to code without command prompt. We have some softwares here for the programming. So here we have Tony Python IDE. So this is the software which allows you to run code here only. Run code in that software. You can see the output of the code. It's easy to see output here. In the cell section you can see the output. So here I already have blink LED command. I will tell you in few minutes what the command is. So now we are going to do print the same thing which we done in the command prompt. So we print thank you here also. So we are run. So we need to save this file. So I save py codes which I already have the folder. So I say thank you. Okay. So this shows invalid syntax, because if you don't give a space, it's invalid syntax, I think. Yes, it's invalid syntax. Now we are going to see how to run a Python code without command prompt. Command prompt is easy way, but we also have software here. The software name is Tony Python IDE. So in Tony Python IDE you have the output here. So it is easy to run output in some experimental way. We can just type our code here, and we just easily see the output in the cell section. So that's the beauty of this software. And one point, in command prompt we don't need to put brackets in Python language. So here I show you. I am going to print text. So for print, so what we done, we just print with double quotes hello there in command prompt, but we don't have to print like this in this software. If we run this code, it says error. It's a syntax error. In softwares you have syntax. That's why in Turbo C, the C and C++ have some syntax of it, but in command prompt you don't have to do you don't have to know the syntax of the that Python. You just run whatever you need, but in software we have syntax. What the syntax for here is, the syntax is print bracket single quotes hello. So this is the syntax for this software to run a Python code. So if now we run, it will say hello in the output. We just see it. So here we go, we see the output hello in here, because software have the syntax, so that only it compile into Python and run output for you. That's the different here. So we try another called 1 2 3 for a change. You see 1 2 3 is 1 2 3 is in the output cell section. So these are that things. So I have another things to show you. Python codes, blink LED. This is the blink LED .py. This is the simple code which you can run in Arduino. So in Arduino, that case we have C, embedded C. So that is a simple way to run a blink LED command. So on here in Python we this much of code is needed in Raspberry Pi to run it. So these are the codes, some code I show you here. Import RPI. Import RPI means import in read pi, and .gpio on GPIO. RPI is means Raspberry Pi. Import Raspberry Pi .gpio. As GPIO, we are saying it just GPIO, assign it as a GPIO from time import sleep. So we use time import for a timing purpose, because we have to do some time delays here. So for that only we use import time. Import time is very much important while you do this time.sleep 1. Time.sleep 1 is called time delay, which allows your LED or some output devices with a time delay. After 1 second only it off. In this command you can increase it to your facility. So after that, GPIO.set mode. So we have to assign the GPIO what mode we have to use. Here we use GPIO.set mode, GPIO.PCM. So we are basic common module here, GPIO, and GPIO.setup. We are setting up 17th pin as GPIO.out. We are saying 17th pin as output. Okay, then while true is a loop. If we if we put a code in while true, it's take it as a loop and run simultaneously repeatedly. So that's the purpose of this while true. So after that we are assigning GPIO dot output 17 GPIO dot high. GPIO dot high means it on. So 17th pin, if we put an LED on the 17th pin, so it will allows the LED to on. The high is called on in this command, and print LED is on. So we are so how we know the LED is print or not? So we just type here print LED on. So by this LED on, we can see LED on, LED off on the output section. So we are aware of it. If there is any hardware issues, we can't connect the LED properly, we can see is that any problem in code. So that only we have this status print LED on, print LED off, and then also we are oning here GPIO high, and we are off the LED GPIO low. So after that this is time dot sleep is called a time delay. In Arduino we say delay, just delay, and in Arduino we need to do delay in milliseconds, but here we do in seconds only. Python in Python we do seconds, but in Arduino we do in this type delay 500, or for 1 second we do in Arduino delay 1000, and this is much needed in C, embedded C programs. This one is ending up the command. So in Python we don't need that to closing up our it will automatically know where it closing the code is. So here we run. I would show you the command section LED on, LED off here. So here you see LED on, LED off, LED on, LED off. It's just on and off in the time delay of 1 second. So that we put here. So here is the code. Here is the code. You can able to use the Raspberry Pi as like as the Arduino. So that's it. For this much of time we just see this simple coding on this Raspberry Pi. There are a lot more to explore in Raspberry Pi. We can see if we got any other sessions, or you can connect with me through online platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, so YouTube, such as the things. We have our company YouTube channel also called Kasadara. We are in that YouTube channel we are learning you in the concept of learn and let learn. We also learn and let you to learn through that platform also. You can connect me and you can talk to me in that social media pages. Whenever you need or you have any doubts, you can contact me. Once again, thank you everyone for this session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very good evening to all. I feel honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks for this webinar. First and foremost, I thank Almighty God for the successful completion of webinar. Then I thank the speaker of the webinar, Mr. Muthuraman, alumnus of 2019 batch, founder and CEO of Kasadara Tech and Automations and Reality Studio. We feel very proud to be a student like you and convey my heartiest wishes to all your future work. It's my pleasure to thank our management for the motivation to organize the webinars, and my sincere thanks to our dynamic principal, Professor D.P. Rufus, who is the backbone of all our endeavors. Further, I take this opportunity to thank Regin sir, Jerome Rajkumar sir for their support, and also thanks to Solomon sir, head of the department, and Madhavan sir, alumni coordinator, and all the faculty members of our department. Last but not least, my sincere gratitude to all the participants who have joined with us for this webinar. Thank you one and all. Thank you.